great privilege for me to report to the forum on behalf of Roundtable 3, which is entitled 70 Years After World War II, Historical Reconciliation, Regional Peace and Cooperation. The Roundtable addresses a timely subject on the special, and some might say a very sensitive occasion of the 70th anniversary of the end of the Second World War. Like other roundtables, it has 2 sessions. Altogether, 12 papers are presented by scholars and researchers from China, Japan, Korea, Europe, as well as the United States, offering a diverse range of different perspectives and frank exchange of ideas as to how and why East Asian countries should collectively confront the history problem 70 years on in seeking historical reconciliation. Because of the time constraints, however, unfortunately, we did not have any chance for Q&A discussion that engaged the audience. Now, as a brief summary of the presentations at Roundtable 3, let me start with a few interesting talking points that have emerged from these presentations. These are 4 in number. The first is a general consensus on the importance for major regional players, China, Japan, and Korea, among others, to strive for historical reconciliation. Because without historical reconciliation, regional peace, stability, security, and cooperation would not be possible. By the same token, as major regional players, China, Japan, and Korea bear special responsibilities to find a collective version of history that can enable them to live peacefully with each other as deeply entangled neighbors in the region, both historically and also in contemporary global politics and world economy. Second, different understanding and interpretations of history of war, or what we might call historical amnesia, persists in all countries involved. Historical issues have been used to serve political purposes. Remembering and forgetting war selectively and creatively is at the same time entangled with identity construction and denial, and plays into the strategic rivalry between China and Japan in the evolving global power shift. Third is the challenging nature of seeking historical reconciliation 70 years on. This is not only because historical amnesia is very difficult to overcome, but also because it involves dealing with both an identity-based conflict, as China, Japan, and Korea are all still engaged in the unfinished business of nation-state building. And they also deal with interest-based considerations, as in the case of shaping China-Japan US triangle strategic relationship. Fourth, the historical reconciliation will be a long social and political process. Challenges ahead for reaching historical reconciliation should not be underestimated. Political wisdom and courage of the state leaders is the key to move in this direction. At the same time, understanding, sincerity, and patience of societies are indispensable for its eventual realization. Then we turn to what is to be done to transcend the politics of blame and mutual recrimination, and to get what might be called, or to get beyond what might be called historical trap. Now let me make a brief comment. Every nation has the right to a version of its own history, but how one nation chooses to understand, to remember, and to interpret its own history has serious implications for what future that nation chooses to live. Now with that comment, let me just mention a broad range of policy recommendations that have been made in the presentations. This ranged from looking to Europe for inspiration, learning from European experience, to promoting a Beijing-Tokyo order-centric dialogue, and to further strengthening economic cooperation and reforming history education in the countries concerned. There also emerged a clear consensus that not only the state, but equally importantly, society of all concerned must be closely involved for promoting historical reconciliation through practical actions and practical approaches. Policy recommendations therefore emphasize the role of people-to-people diplomacy, such as strengthening educational change and youth exchange programs, establishing think tank networks of knowledge across East Asia, and joint history textbook project. The role that various organizations of Japanese repatriated from China after the war in promoting friendship and historical reconciliation is a striking example that has been given in one presentation. The emphasis here, in other words, is that to reach the goal of historical reconciliation needs to take one step at one time. Overall, Roundtable 3 is fruitful in addressing one of the hot regional issues, and in so doing also the key theme of the forum, that is, working together for the 21st century Asia-Pacific peace, security, and prosperity. Thank you.